Lena. Helena. Helena. Your sister. Your big sister now.
So this time was a vastly different experience to last time, because Marina got the dural tap.
Last time.
She had to lay in bed flat. So getting Emily to latch on was very, very, very difficult. And getting the milk in.
Because I had to breastfeed while lying down instead of like being able to sit up, which is even harder.
It was so crap. And it took a full week for the milk to come actually to come in. Whereas this time, this is so different. Elena's latched on straight away. She's been sucking on that thing for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe.
Definitely over an hour and a half.
And we're a little bit tired, but you know, we had a sleep. We woke up at like 7, even if it wasn't a great sleep, it was a rest. And then we got this thing going, and it's 5 o'clock now, whereas last time the water broke like 5 a.m. in the morning. We didn't start labour till like 11 p.m. at night.
And then had her 11 a.m. the next morning.
So we were dead. So this is, even though it was not a pleasant having a C-section, because her darn cord was wrapped around her leg, this is really fantastic for us. So that's the update.
I'm so happy.
I thought I'd jump in and narrate because Marina's a little bit tired.
Do you know what I'm having trouble with?
What's that?
I have huge mom guilt with Emily.
Why?
Because I feel like I wasn't really present the last few weeks because I was heavily pregnant. Couldn't do much with her. Like, you were doing a lot of like physically with her. And then now, while I'm staying here all week, but what makes me feel better is that I'm like, okay, it's just a few weeks, it's like 6 weeks, and then I'll feel a lot better and I'll be able to do everything with her, and hopefully I'll semi get my body back, and she's gonna have a friend forever. You know, she's never gonna be alone. Neither one of them will be alone, and that's a good feeling. But yeah, for now I feel mom guilt hard, and I'm a bit scared that it's gonna distance me from her. Don't you feel that?
I don't care too much, because when we go to the park and she looks at other kids, I feel like she's yearning for a buddy, and she's getting one from a very young age. And it's a very temporary thing that she's going through. She won't remember a thing because she's under 3.
I know, but aren't like the first 3 years of life the most important?
Yeah, but I still think we give her a lot of affection. It's just been like a couple of tough weeks.
I know, but I can't help the feeling that I feel like she's gonna be almost put to the side a little the next few weeks. But I'm hoping the fact that she has a new friend will make up for it, and she won't feel... There's just too many changes that I'm worried.
But mom will be there, and I've got a couple of weeks off, and after that your mom's coming for at least a couple of weeks. So I don't think she'll be...
But then there are like too many changes, because usually she doesn't spend that much time with other people, like other than us.
I guess it is what it is.
It is what it is. As long as we're all safe and it's temporary, and we're gonna have our, I think, complete family.
I think so too. Today was pretty worrying when her heart rate was going down each time you were having a contraction, and your blood pressure went really low.
Really low. I was feeling really, really dizzy, And like I almost felt like I was going into a coma, to be honest. Like every time, like I couldn't actually stay present or like awake or conscious. I actually felt like I was going to like a different world every time I closed my eyes. It was a bit of a scary feeling. You got worried.
Did not.
Mom got worried.
Your mom freaked out. I told her to leave the room. And to smile. She did well, but she was freaking out.
It was that little rush to have the cesarean, and I mean, it was kind of relieving that they made that decision. Like it was relieving and overwhelming at the same time they made that decision. I mean, they didn't make it for us. They gave us the option, but ultimately it was the best decision.
In hindsight, it definitely was.
I did get worried because when she said like it's fine, because every time you get a contraction, her heart rate goes back up afterwards, so it's fine. But then at the time I was like contracting every 9 to 10 minutes, which is still really far apart, and like not in active labor yet. And I was like, so what happens once I am in active labor and I'm like 1 or like 2 minutes apart at 1 minute long? Like, is her heart rate just gonna be like low, 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 low? And yeah, I sort of didn't feel like I got a clear answer.
But that was with the relief consultant. When the other consultant came, they checked your cervix straight away and said you're still really not dilated enough. We've still got a long way to go.
Because her heart rate, they're like, oh, maybe she had dropped down straight to the cervix and you're fully dilated, and that's why you're getting it. They're like, oh, that could be awesome. But then I wasn't. I was like still at the 2-3 centimeter mark, and my cervix was like still really thick. And it had already been
well over, like it had been over 12
it was still
hours.
The beginning of the labor, so.
But it had been over 12 hours since your water broke. It's been quite some time, and you hadn't really escalated.
So it was like really the cord that was not helping. It wasn't letting her like go deep into my pelvis.
Because we think you had started labor a few times over the last few weeks.
Well, if you guys watched my weekly pregnancy updates, I've been saying like I've been getting contractions and lots has been happening.
And it would stop for 2 days after
and I had
that.
like the mucus plug and all that. And then I was still not in labor, and it was really, really strange because it's my second baby, and first baby wasn't delayed. I had her 2 days before my due date, so it was pretty much like at the due date. Yeah, and once like my water broke, or once I had contractions and my water broke, and then I went into labor, like things happened. But this one, it just kept on trying to start and just never progressed. And as I said before,
the theory is that the cord was holding her whole, like her leg up and her body up, preventing her from
and it was quite
engaging down.
What was happening, to be honest. That it kept on like, oh, like maybe this is labor, and then nothing happened. But there's obviously an explanation. She just couldn't get low enough to push on my cervix and actually start active labor.
Well, this chick looks like she's ready for some sleep and is fed enough. So I guess we'll see you tomorrow morning.
I think that's us for the day. Hopefully, good night's sleep.
Elena has finally finished cluster feeding. It's been 4 hours straight. We've changed her nappy with the meconium. We've given her a nice tight swaddle, and we've got the shusher going. Fingers crossed we get a good few hours sleep before her next feed. Alright guys, plan B. She wouldn't sleep, so we ended up giving her the dummy so that she could actually get some rest, because she's been awake for way too long and she's getting overtired. So hopefully after she gets a good sleep, then we can try breastfeed again. I know midwives don't recommend using a dummy or a pacifier, but sometimes you need to do what you gotta do so that baby and mum can get some rest. After a very difficult day.
Later on in the afternoon of the first, or you can say second day, I'm not sure what you call it. But anyway, I got my catheter pulled out. I had a little walk around, had a shower, feeling refreshed. Elena's been sleeping kind of and feeding, and we've just been relaxing in the semi-quiet all day. And hopefully Emily will come for another visit this afternoon and she'll make it more fun.
Uh-oh.
She's sleeping.
Hey, what do you think about your new sister?
Gentle, happy, gentle, gentle, gentle.
Good girl, Emily. Gentle. Gentle.
Give Elena a kiss. Hey.
Girl, Emily.
Are you sleeping in Elena's bed? Do you guys want to swap beds? You want to sleep here and Elena can sleep in your bed?
Can't believe we have two.
2 chickens. Yeah. Is it comfy? Is it comfortable, Emily? Här är till här bås.